Well, a very warm welcome to Treviso. It's under 26 Nations Summer Series time. It's Super Saturday. And it's Scotland against Wales. It's time for Pool B. After the dramas of Pool A yesterday, which saw victories for France and South Africa, who both came away with bonus point triumphs against Ireland and England respectively. What will Pool B throw our way today? Set for another day of thrilling under-20s age grade rugby. Scotland didn't have the ideal preparations ahead of this tournament, with a clean sweep of defeats in the Six Nations earlier this year. Wales, it was slightly better for them, not much better. They did beat Scotland in the Six Nations by 26 points to 13, and they have selected a very, very strong side, Wales, for this summer series. Scotland looking to get off the mark and put to bed what was a very, very disappointing Six Nations. Wales looking to continue their good recent record against the Scots. Very, very hot day in Treviso as we await the national anthems of Scotland and Wales. Italy against Georgia to follow. That's the night match. couple of rousing renditions. Scotland and Wales are ready. Kenny Murray has selected a tasty-looking lineup. Look out for the half-back duo of Redpath and Townsend, and Daly and Johnston are two live wires on the wings as well. It's a side captained by the open side flanker Tate. There is plenty of experience in this Scotland squad. Many featured for them in the Six Nations earlier this year. Byron Hayward does have more strength in depth at his disposal, and a couple of bruising second rows from the Exeter Chiefs are in tow. Chris Shiunza and Daffyd Jenkins both ply their trade down in Devon in the Gallagher Premiership. It'll be interesting to see how they get on in the Welsh engine room. Lots of quality on show. Who will put their hand up to be the next star and potentially go on and make waves in the senior setup? Shota Tefzadze of Georgia, his nation in action in the night match against Italy in around about 3 hours' time. But first of all, it's Scotland against Wales to kick us off in Pool B in the Under-20 Six Nations Summer Series. Early spillage, but regathered. And the Caterpillar is out for Wales, the box kick. And then that's charged down. Bit of a shaky start. I don't think Che Hope will have that much time on the ball. Certainly not as much time as he was anticipating there. Nathan Evans, the big Welsh tight head in your picture a few moments ago. And an early test of the Scottish line-out, and it's taken pretty cleanly. Gregor Hiddleston is the Scottish hooker. But Scotland infringe. Wales with an early penalty inside of a minute in Treviso. It is very, very hot today, and Wales I don't think will be too upset with these conditions. They have been training in the build-up to this summer series to try and replicate these sort of temperatures. It's 32 Celsius in northeastern Italy this afternoon. It is very, very hot pitch side, but Wales are pretty confident that they have done the necessary steps and all the fitness regimes to try and cope with it. And they do pride themselves on being one of the fittest squads at under 20 level, and a line out taken. Wales looking to get that driving maul going, and Scotland looking to try and defend it. Scotland look to have done a decent job here, but Wales still have the ball. It's the most accurate pass to hand. The kick is lateral, but it's a very good one, and Wales might be in here for the opening score, and that is some finish. That is an absolute beauty. It's Ollie Andrew who's gone over for Wales after just 2 minutes. He did so well to finish this. This was patient play from the Welsh. Kick was actually behind the winger, but Andrew did so well to go on and spin and pirouette his way to the line. Beautiful kick. Nothing wrong with that. TMO has confirmed it. Ollie Andrew with an absolutely brilliant try. How on earth he finished that, I have no idea. But what a start for Wales. They are the slight favourites. It was Ollie Leatherbarrow, the Scottish 8, who conceded the penalty prior to the Welsh line-out. And it's a very, very tricky touchline conversion for Daniel Edwards. It was a good strike of the ball. It was very, very close. Daniel Edwards has been having kicking lessons from Lee Halfpenny. Lee Halfpenny spent a lot of time with the Welsh under-20 squad, and Daniel Edwards says he's been relishing learning from him. But what a try this was. Ollie Andrew, take a bow. This is some finish. He had a fair bit to do from here. The cover tackle not quite good enough, but the way he spun and pirouetted around was a joy to watch. And Scotland unfortunately not getting it through the hands. That's a good drilled Welsh defence, and they've won the penalty, and this is a very, very aggressive and bright start for Wales. Fabulous stuff. Hayward's going to be absolutely delighted with the way his charges have started. It was a really good line-out take, take from the kick-off from Daffy Jenkins of the Exeter Chiefs. Daniel Edwards is certainly one to watch out for. He's a very good striker of the ball. All Wales at the moment. Good opening 5 minutes. Scotland are struggling to live with their driving maul at the moment, and Wales just trying to set themselves here. Good counter-rucking from Scotland. There was the try scorer Andrew to his big tight head Nathan Evans. And that's Che Hope, not charged down this time. It's a shaky start from Hope. That's a good take in the air. But on him like a flash is the big Welsh 8 Benji Williams. That's Wales again at the breakdown, and that is an area where Scotland have really struggled at the start of this match. Scotland off their feet. What a start this is for Wales.
All right. This is the mark.
Wales hammered by Ireland, England and France in the Six Nations earlier this year. They lost at home to Italy as well in Colwyn Bay, but they did beat Scotland 26-13, their only victory of the campaign. And Scotland's unfortunately with the wooden spoon, but that's an overthrown Welsh line-out. Yeah, F and Daniel. There's the Welsh hooker.
Stay on side, Red. No.
Very, very shaky start this from the Scots, and I don't think Kenny Murray is going to be too impressed.
Yeah. Offside.
7 minutes gone, all Wales at the moment. But they're bossing the breakdown. Very, very competitive. They're committing numbers, Wales, and that's a charge down this time. It could have ended up pretty well for Wales. That was Daffy Jenkins getting his mitts dirty. He's Exeter Chiefs partner in crime in the second row, wearing 4. But, Scotland taking themselves downfield. Scotland could do with recycling this pretty quickly, and it was a good little combo between the halfbacks. Christian Townsend is wearing 10 for Scotland, and that was the carry from the number 8 Leatherbarrow. This is a defensive workout for Wales here. Scotland with a lot of the ball at the moment, and that's Townsend, and that was Redpath. And this is much better from the Scots, trying to respond straight away. Yeah, that's a penalty coming as well for Scotland. Wales have gone offsides. And that's the giant second row. That's Max Williamson.
Stay on side.
And the pickup is from Gregor Hiddleston. And that's Townsend, and that's Reece Tate, the captain. Oh, a little bit better from Scotland. Good 2-minute spell there.
Offside.
Where they look good with the ball in their mitts.
There.
Penalty they're going back for.
Yeah. So captain, it was outside of 22.
Wales have won the last 2 matches against
It's outside
Scotland
of
in
22.
major competitions.
Yeah, TM was checking if there's something there.
But outside of Wales, they've lost the last 2 matches against Scotland.
Where is it?
So it's fairly even, but Wales do have the better of the head-to-heads.
Okay.
Shota will have a
recent
review on the
times.
full play.
The inside centre is Andy
Okay,
Stirrett,
Thomas.
who's struggling a little bit here.
Where the
Time off.
Scottish player is injured.
Okay, time is off.
Potential full play.
Yeah, they're having a look at
Potential full
something
play.
here.
He jumped to avoid a tackle. So it's a full play. You will be on the screen.
Sorry. We are potential full play. I don't know
What does the
yet.
referee make of this? The
So
referee
we
from
are
Georgia.
checking full play by blue. You were telling me. Thomas?
Stirrett kind of leaps into the
Tell me when
Welsh
you are in
defender.
front.
I'm in front of the screen ready to watch. What are we watching for?
Okay, so you will see the 12
Ethan
blue
Fackrell
who jumping to
is the Welsh player who
avoid
was
the tackle.
clobbered here.
Yeah. Yeah, so what I'm seeing here is blue ball carrier jumps to avoid the tackle. So that's a foul play, that's a penalty against blue, you agree?
Certainly not.
Yeah, I clearly agree. For me, no infringement for red players.
Okay, so it's just a penalty against blue.
It's going to be a penalty against Scotland. It's not going to be anything worse.
We're playing advantage for the blue one. We have to
Yeah, but it's a foul play, so it's reverse. It's reverse.
And quite right, I think. It's
Yeah,
not
it
going to
will
be a
your
card, I
penalty
don't think.
because Blue number 12 is jumping in a tackle, which is foul play, right? Captain!
It's Andy Stirrett who has conceded the
So
penalty
we get
here.
your penalty, but on the review we see that number 12 jumps to avoid the tackle. That's a foul play, so it's reverse.
Yeah, it's not going to be a card,
And where is the mark?
but Wales will have the penalty here and an
Inside
opportunity
22,
to clear their
Where
lines.
the player was injured.
Jumping in a tackle.
Yeah, you are.
Jumping in a tackle. Time off, number 9, Fred, substitution. But don't close the gap, please. Don't close the gap.
Wales have taken themselves just beyond the halfway mark.
Time back on. Yeah, don't close it. Water break, lads. Water break.
Scotland are currently on a run of 10 straight defeats. And they've conceded on average around about 37 points per match during this current run. But their last win did come against Wales. And the referee quite rightly is issuing a water break, and you simply have to in these searing conditions. It is in the low to mid 30s, and it is expected to even climb slightly into the Italian evening. And, hydration very important in these conditions. But Kenny Murray optimistic ahead of this competition, but it is Wales with the early advantage thanks to that Ollie Andrews score. It was a beauty of a crossfield kick into the path of Andrew, and he finished it absolutely wonderfully. On a sixpence for him.
Time on.
It wasn't, in fairness, the best attempt at a cover tackle
Like we agreed, lads, all right?
from the Scottish winger, Ryan Daly.
This is the mark.
Missing a tackle there.
Good. Slightly left, please. Yeah. Close the shoulders.
Three debutants in the Scotland starting 15. The back row, Liam McConnell, and both wings, in fact, Kerr Johnston and Ryan Daly. And Ryan Daly's first involvement on his debut is to miss the tackle that led to the try, but plenty of time to bounce back for Daly. He is highly rated, and Kenny Murray choosing to blood through a couple of the under 18s and under 19s into the Scottish squad.
Stay on side, Use 9. Backward.
Scotland do have the heavier pack, incidentally. If you caught the caption, by about 40 odd kilos.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, line out, move. Keep the gap.
With a very, very physical start so far. Scotland have struggled to live with them. Wales are without their main captain, Alex Mann, though, who's injured. So Joe Hawkins is skippering the side today.
Ball is here. Tackle.
His outside centre partner, Mason Grady, highly rated Grady.
Stay on side.
Strong carry again. Good tackle, though, from the Scottish hooker. It's Hiddleston. Well, it's not really going anywhere here at the moment. Scotland have done well to slow this down. That was just a little floated pass out to the wing, and was it forward, though?
Forward.
It was.
Scramble.
It was a marginal call. But Christian Townsend charged down, and Wales were in the ascendancy.
Okay. In line now. In the scrum. Okay, I will try to check.
Harry Houston in your picture, wearing
Keep the gap, all right?
the red 11 jersey of Wales.
Okay. Two balls binding up, all right? Balls. No, it's good, it's good. Keep the gap. Crouch. Bye.
A reset. Scotland with the bulk of possession, but Wales have certainly looked the more threatening with the ball.
Keep it and not overly. Okay, that's the mark. Give the break foot and don't overlean like that. That's it. Second done. Yeah, boy. Yes, second. Stop. Stop. Come on, Ollie. Move up. Touch it. Crouch. Come on, one. Spine.
Scotland are off. Over halfway, upended in the midfield. Oh, it's a lovely little spin. And gains a couple of metres. But once again, Wales at the breakdown. It was almost inevitable. Scotland holding on. And Wales really are throwing numbers into those breakdowns, and they're getting the rewards at the moment. And Daniel Edwards is going to have another opportunity to take Wales upfield.
This is your mark.
It's a beauty of a turnover. Superb body position over the ball. Nothing that Scotland could really do about it.
No, I will stay. Wait, hey, wait for me. It's your mark here. Come close. Hey, you keep the gap, move.
Wales through the hands. It's a lovely looking line. Superb tackle from the Scottish inside centre, Stirrett. There is a new scrum half for Wales. Shane Hope had to go off, and here they are through the middle, and this is looking ominous, and this is another Welsh try. It's Rhys Barrett, who has bulldozed his way through, and Wales into double figures in Treviso. What a moment for the loose head. And that for a prop is a fabulous try. It was the quick thinking here. A couple of heavy duty carries as well. Scotland unable to reset, and then Rhys Barrett just pops through the gap. Far too much space for him, but great awareness this from Rhys Barrett. There he is, through a couple of defenders, and that's a simple conversion as well for Daniel Edwards, and Wales are on to 12. Scotland 0, Wales 12, and this is a mighty fine start for the men in red. Well, they did say they'd be able to handle the conditions due to their intense training regime. It's a pretty simple try, but tremendous gas for a big fella. Rhys Barrett plays his club rugby for Cardiff. In fact, it is an all Cardiff front row for Wales. Alongside Efan Daniel and Nathan Evans. Scotland need a response. Through the hands, it's not a bad pass out wide, but wasn't flat enough. And that gave Wales the opportunity to shift forward. It's Scotland with the penalty this time, and they're inside the Welsh half. Oh, it's been fast and furious and frenetic, and it's been a good start to this wide open Pool B. Pool A is seen as the more competitive of the two, with, well, the top three of the Six Nations, England, Ireland and France, and the baby box of South Africa, who are absolutely superb yesterday in dispatching England with 5 tries. But, Wales will fancy the chances of coming out on top of Pool B. Fruitful line-out for Scotland, and Harry Redpath is trying to orchestrate things. That's a lovely ball from Redpath and into Leatherbarrow of the Exeter Chiefs. Redpath again. Scotland looking threatening. It's a Spin out of the tackle. Leatherbarrow has carried really well. Certainly one of Scotland's shining lights. Scotland inching closer towards the red try line. Penalty given as well.
Number 5.
Yeah, and Daffyd Jenkins, I think, is the man in hot water here.
7. Beyond the line, lad.
Looks like they're going to go from here.
Not early.
A couple of meaty ball carriers. Ooh, goodness me, that was a shuddering collision, but Scotland very, very close once again. It might take one or two more phases. The pickup, and they are crowded out, are they? But has he got it down? This may well go upstairs. But the try is given.
It was try first, then it was
And it's a beast of a forwards try once more. It's a fabulous finish as well. And Scotland are on the board for the first time in the match. It's a proper forwards finish. Just trying to see who actually scored it. It might have been the big second row.
Okay.
The hooker
Yeah.
Hiddleston was in there as well, but it might be Josh Taylor who has nabbed this.
But it was the water break, to be honest. So we will play. We'll play.
That's Gregor Hiddleston. In fact, the hooker, I believe, has been credited with the score.
Okay, Shota. It's for me nothing to go against you.
Ably supported by Josh Taylor in the build-up.
Okay, thank you Thomas.
Yeah, that is a try for Gregor Hiddleston. And the attempted conversion is pulled wide by Christian Townsend. Scotland, though, within 7 points now. Scotland 5, Wales 12.
Which side you keep?
The big ball carriers were
Keep them on side, okay?
right in the thick of the action.
But don't go.
But
Don't go
Hiddleston
early, wait for the
is the man
Wait for the keeper.
who was barrowed over. Scotland 5, Wales 12. And a bit of a fumble from Leatherbarrow.
Black 4, go ahead. No. Yeah, no.
23 minutes gone in the boiling hot
No. Push back.
Stadio Monigo in Treviso.
Use 9.
And it's been a very, very entertaining first half of rugby so far between two of the Six Nations entrants. Scotland with a wooden spoon this year, finishing bottom of the pile.
Your teammates are
That's
going.
Kerr Johnston making his debut today.
You must. No. Yeah, sometimes
For,
yes, but you must stay up.
Scotland
right?
plays his
Tell
rugby
the
for
boys.
Gala RFC. He's one of those who's been promoted from the under-18s ranks.
Hold.
Good tackle from the Scottish captain. It's Tate. Scotland trying to get over the ball here,
Ball is here.
but the ball has squirmed out. Wales in possession. Just a little sideways pass. It's a lovely little ball, and it was a big carry from Mason Grady.
Away, tackler.
It's flung wide, and that's a lovely line as well. Lovely pass on the outside, and Wales in for try number 3. It's a work of art from Wales. And they're slicing Scotland open once again. Wales up to 17 with try number 3 in Treviso. It's a lovely move as well. That lovely pass from the fly half. And it's the big open side, Ethan Fackrell,
All good for me.
who's gone over. Nothing wrong with that. But wonderful pass from Daniel Edwards to thread Ryan Woodman through the gap. Ryan Woodman with the pass out to his back row mate. And Ethan Fackrell was the man who finished things off. Conversion is good from Daniel Edwards, and Wales stretching the gap once again. Lovely score this from Wales. Straight off the training ground. Brilliant line from the big blind sides, Ryan Woodman, who's an immense ball carrier.
Water break, lad. Water break.
Wales looking pretty tasty at the moment. Scotland 5, Wales 19. Wales, just a reminder, it is
5 against
a
Scotland
similar
and 3 against
point
Wales.
structure to the
Yeah,
senior Six Nations, in that you do get try bonus points, you do get losing bonus points for losing by 7 points or fewer. But a very, very assured performance this from Wales. Joe Hawkins and Mason Grady are a formidable looking centre partnership. But, Scotland have got their work cut out here. Byron Hayward's men are wiping the floor with them. They've had less possession, Wales in fact, but they've just made more of their opportunities, and the territory is all with the Welsh, but they have been clinical in the red zone. Scotland have actually made more metres, but marshalled by Daniel Edwards, who's been far more effective than his opposite number, Christian Townsend, so far.
Time on. Wait.
Interestingly, the Welsh fullback today, Cameron Winnett, made his URC debut on this ground a month ago for Cardiff against Benetton.
Same side blue. Use it, red.
So Scotland this time, getting over the ball. Breakdown penalty goes their way. Breakdown has been ultra competitive in this match so far. We've got just under 14 minutes to go until the half-time oranges. Scotland looking to try and manoeuvre their way back into this match. Have largely been on the back foot.
No. Keep it. Hey. Keep in the line. No, 13. Go in.
Here comes Scotland. Look at the driving maul here. They've splintered Wales, rumbling towards the try line. This is a very, very promising position. Wales do have numbers back now, though. But if this goes wide, they're in. But it's not executed well at all.
22.
A little grubber through from Murray Redpath, not quite working out. It was far too much on it. And it is a botched opportunity for Scotland, it has to be said. They had the drive, and they had Wales
Behind the kicker, red.
wiltering there under severe Scottish pressure. It's Kieran Clark, fullback, who gets a hefty boot on it.
Red, move back.
It's a beautiful strike, and Wales up onto the halfway line. Wales' kicking game has been excellent so far, and the help that Lee Halfpenny and James Hook as well has also been helping out these Welsh kickers. And they do have several players in that back line who are capable of kicking goals. It's not just Daniel Edwards. But I think Byron Hayward is going to be a pretty happy man about after what he's seen so far. The Scottish line-out is well taken by the big blindside Liam McConnell on his debut, who's come up from the under-19s. Kerr Johnston, another debut boy, trying to make some headway. There's Redpath. Now to Townsend. Looking for open pasture. This might work out well for Scotland. It is a very, very decent kick. Right into the corner. There was half a chance that was going to end up in a score as well, but Christian Townsend, with one of his better moments in this game, weighted that to absolute perfection.
The ball is carrying back by blue. Ball is carrying back by blue. So for red.
No, it's ball is red. We have two balls. It was carried into 50, red ball.
It's a red ball though. 10 minutes to go until half time. Welsh line out has been pretty secure. From just one that they lost earlier in the match. But another penalty at the breakdown. That's been a common theme for Wales throughout this match. Not really happening for Scotland. They've just made too many errors when they've got into good positions. But Daniel Edwards is striking the ball wonderfully for Wales. Italy against Georgia to come in a couple of hours' time on the same pitch. So Kenny Murray, I think he's going to be slightly concerned. Scotland have had their moments, but they've not been clinical. They ought to have come away with more than just the one score. But they find themselves at two converted scores behind. This is the captain who's getting some treatment. This doesn't look too clever at the moment for Rhys Tate. Rhys Tate's about 35 metres in this match.
Continue.
Ollie Leatherbarrow has also carried well for Scotland. Rhys Tate appears to be okay at the moment.
Ready? This is your mark. Wait. Hang on.
Clean take from Chris Chiunza of the Exeter Chiefs, who's been capped at senior level as well, remember, in last year's autumn internationals. Taken nicely. Finds a lovely looking floating pass as well, but it wasn't picked up. It was into space. Townsend though was knocked on, and Wales will have a scrum in a pretty nice looking position inside the Scottish half. Great opportunity for these youngsters to showcase their talents in the Six Nations Summer Series. So the aim will be to finish top of the pool. Italy are going to have a say in that as well. Italy's certainly improving at under 20s age grade rugby. So Pool A does look the slightly stronger of the two. Wales get the shunt on. Good distribution from the replacement scrum half as well. He's been very good since coming on, Morgan Lloyd. That was a big carry from Shiunza, but he's knocked it on, and under heavy pressure from Scotland.
Scrum blue.
Shiunza wanted the ball, he made that call. He tried to get the offload away.
Time off.
It was a very good tackle on Shiunza.
Aye.
That was made almost double the amount of tackles that Scotland have. Another water break. Temperatures seem to be rising.
Okay.
Slightly hotter in Treviso than it is in Verona. But Wales do back themselves on the physicality stakes, and in terms of their fitness regime as well. They seem to be fit at all levels of international rugby. The senior side as well always backs themselves. Always back themselves rather in terms of being able to last the course. It's also very nice to see Scotland throwing the ball around. And they seem to have developed that as a real DNA throughout their age grades. The senior sides certainly play that way now under Gregor Townsend. Try scorer Ollie Andrew getting a little bit of treatment. Play continues.
Let's keep your bind up. Time on. Red, scrum blue. Mark. Oh.
Deep into the second quarter. Pool B action in the Under-20 Six Nations Summer Series. Scotland against Wales, followed by Italy against Georgia. Sides, going pretty steady in terms of the set piece. Real opportunity for some of these players to put their hand up. Andy Stirrett has been a good performer for Scotland as well at inside centre. Just wonder, all of these players will be looking at the senior side in terms of picking out the players in their positions and trying to look for inspiration. Who will be the next Chris Harris? Who will be the next Lee Halfpenny? Who will be the next Talupe Faletau?
Wait for the signals.
It's all to play for these youngsters, and a great opportunity to showcase their talents. Very impressed with the Welsh scrum half, replacement scrum half, since he came on. Lloyd has been outstanding. Injected some real tempo. Redpath. Scotland through the hands and then buffeted towards the touchline. That is outstanding. And that is Mason Grady, showing everyone what he's capable of. Outstanding defensive work from the Welsh outside centre. Mason Grady of Cardiff. He and Joe Hawkins are some central partnership at this level. Mason Grady is one of those who's extremely highly rated within these Welsh ranks and highly capable of going on to make the senior side, that's for sure.
It's a high tackle. Just seatbelt tackle. Just PK.
5 minutes to go until half-time in Treviso. Scotland 5, Wales 19. It's been a thoroughly watchable encounter. Wales at 3 tries to 1 to the good, and 1 away from the bonus point. And these extra points are certainly what's needed.
Thanks so much. Good.
There's a question mark about whether the height of that tackle. I think it was just about okay. I think he hit shoulder first. But I am not surprised they had a look at it.
On the line.
Put it that way. But I think Mason Grady's timed it okay. Any higher, a fraction higher, and he might have been in big trouble. No score on the scoreboard for 10 minutes or so now. Who's going to strike next before half-time?
Tackle is good.
There's Redpath. That's a chip over the top of the defence, and this might work out nicely for Scotland, but it's been spilt forward. And you have to credit the Welsh cover tackle there, which is what forced the error. And now Scotland have got it all to do at their own end as well. And Redpath back to help out. Redpath just about digs the ball away from a standing position. But exciting passage of play. It almost worked out well, but that tackle was excellent. I think it was from Winnett, the Welsh fullback.
Keep the gap, Blue.
Wales with most of the territory, therefore, with most of the scoreboard at the moment. It was Duncan Munn who made that line break for Scotland, incidentally, after the chip over the top from Townsend. It's a lovely pass. Wales might be in here. The bonus point is beckoning for Wales. And they have it before half-time. And it's Harry Houston. What a moment for the left winger. And he's a try scorer in the summer series. Once again, clinical Welsh play when they get in the red zone. What a pass that was from Lloyd. And there's the fullback Cam Winnett, one of the highly rated young Welsh stars, and finished off beautifully. A try apiece now for both Welsh wingers. Andrew on the board, Houston on the board. Wales have the bonus point. Really well executed. Harry Houston of the Ospreys, scorer of the fourth try.
All good for me.
Cheers.
Just got it in the earpiece that all was good with the try. They were just taking a look at a few little things, but the bonus point is secure. Dan Edwards, lovely striker of the ball, but didn't quite get the accuracy that time. He's striking it wonderfully though. Shake of the head. But you can see with the way he strikes the ball, the effect from James Hook and Lee Halfpenny. That's a great little step inside from Houston. He took out two defenders and found the finish.
Wait.
Byron Hayward's men have been absolutely clinical. Scotland 5, Wales 24. Scotland really do need something before half-time. Otherwise it's going to be a long old second half for them. Redpath, jinking. Tackled by Daffyd Jenkins. Penalty Scotland. It was Jenkins who made the tackle.
1 minute to go.
Well, they have to go for the corner. No point at all in going for three. And Townsend takes them as deep as he can. To the mixed half, Townsend, flickers of brilliance, a couple of errors, but that's all part and parcel of being a young player. Important moment this for the young Scots, taken well. It's picked up by Hiddleston, who was the scorer of Scotland's only try. Big carry, supported by Leatherbarrow. Redpath is there. Liam McConnell is waiting, but that's an excellent counter-ruck, and Wales have turned it, and that will be that in terms of the half-time whistle, will it? Well, they haven't booted it out. Scotland still have a chance here with Ryan Daly.
No hands anymore.
Inside the Welsh 22. Redpath again. and wasn't the right pass. And that's still not been booted out. Wales looking for the counter-attack, still in play. We carry on. Townsend. Didn't go to hand.
Knock on by Red.
And that is half-time after the Welsh knock-on, and a thoroughly entertaining half of rugby in Treviso. And Wales have absolutely dominated. A very, very clinical performance from Byron Hayward's men. And a couple of tries apiece for both wingers. And some very, very efficient try scoring from Wales, who have looked pretty hot. They've looked solid in the set piece.
Okay.
And they've looked very, very razor sharp in attack. And it's no more than they deserve. A fair reflection, I think, of the opening 40. Half-time in Pool B in a very, very hot and sticky Treviso. It's Scotland 5, Wales 24.
영원히 안 맞고 우리 그냥. 나이 뺐다.
Well, a warm welcome back to Treviso. It's second half time between Scotland and Wales. Scotland with all the hard work to do. Wales in a very, very commanding position already with the bonus point secured. Kenny Murray, I think, will be happy with the endeavour shown, just perhaps not quite with the quality. More of the same if you're Byron Hayward. Wales very impressive in that opening 40. 4 tries to their name, and they'll be hunting more in the second half.
You hear my voice? Thomas?
Okay for me.
You go left. Lad, step back please, don't go early. Wait for the kick, lad. Captain?
Daniel Edwards just waiting to get the second half underway. Temperature has risen. It's 34 degrees pitch side now. And seems to be getting hotter and hotter as the day wears on. Scotland 5, Wales 24. Pool B action in the Under-20 Six Nations Summer Series. Wales on course to hit the front in this pool. Italy versus Georgia to come later. It's a good take. It's a good tackle as well. A couple of spillages there from Wales. I thought that might have just gone forward, but referee ignored it. But once again, a significant pattern occurring again. A Welsh penalty at the breakdown. Scotland 3 converted tries needed to hit the front. I'd say given Welsh control in that first half, they had about 65-70% of territory, Wales. Scotland, ironically, with more possession, but they just didn't do as much with it. Did actually make more metres, Scotland, than Wales did in that first half.
Let's go, lad. Keep it good, keep it like that, boy.
It was a very, very intelligent Welsh performance. A couple of replacements for Scotland. Ian Carmichael and Patrick Harrison are on for the Scots. Here come Wales. Lloyd with a pass into his inside centre. And Wales rumbling towards the try line again. And it's going to take a dumper truck to get these guys down. Lloyd is digging for the ball. Arm is out. Penalty advantage, Wales. Once again, it was Joe Hawkins with the marauding run. That's floated over the top, and this is try number 5 for Wales. Nicely worked once again. And it's Ollie Andrew again. Second try for the Welsh wing. And Wales have been absolutely prolific. They're on to 29. So clinical whenever they get in that red zone. Flung out wide, over the top from Edwards, finished off by Andrew. Neat and tidy, and ultra efficient. Scotland have barely had time to set themselves after the replacements they've made. Ollie Andrew with the second half just a couple of minutes old, adding to Wales' try tally. They've matched South Africa's total from yesterday, 5 tries.
Numbers are quality and the width. Do you think you're short quality?
Daniel Edwards, that looks a beauty of a strike. It's good. That's his 3rd successful conversion. Wales into the 30s.
Good.
Scotland 5, Wales 31. And Wales look like they're going to score every time they get on the ball.
Wait for the kick.
Their fitness levels look extraordinary as well. Scotland now with 4 converted tries needed. But they do have a penalty, Scotland. It was the big second row, Max Williamson, who won that on the floor. Well, we know where this is going. Raft of Scotland changes, incidentally. The big number 8, Ollie Leatherbarrow, has gone off. The Exeter chief, Tim Brown, has replaced him. Ian Carmichael and Patrick Harrison on. So front row replacements are plenty. Gregor Skugel is also on. Cleanly taken line out, and it gives the front row and the pack, the new look Scottish pack, an opportunity to thrust themselves towards the Welsh line. Here they go, and that's Patrick Harrison, one of the new boys. And that's shifted into the midst of Max Williamson, and that's been spilled. But Scotland did have the penalty advantage, so we'll come back for that. This is going to be taken quickly, you imagine. The referee shot at Tefzadza, not allowing it.
Time off. You're fine. Time on. Collapsing the ball.
A number of Welsh offenders in that for bringing the ball down when it was try bound.
Do not be careful of the right. Don't collapse anymore. On the line, boy. On the line.
And Wales have collapsed this as well. There may well be a card coming soon, because that's gone straight down. But Wales have turned it, unbelievably. I thought they'd collapsed it.
No, it wasn't. No. Unplayable. Yeah. Here is the scrum, lad.
A lot of whooping and hollering.
Over. Here is the scrum. Ball unplayable.
Perhaps Scotland didn't set themselves, and
it was on the ground. From my point of view,
this is going to be a Welsh ball.
The mark. Yeah,
I'm surprised they didn't have another look at that, in all honesty, because I thought that was a collapse once again from Wales. But Shota Tefzadza decides otherwise.
Wait for the signal. Take the break foot.
Scotland are a bit hard done by that. Morgan Lloyd, the ball in his hands. Scrum looks secure enough from Wales. Lloyd ships it wide to his colleagues, and running rugby time from Wales. Tries to escape the clutches of Scottish outside centre Duncan Munn, didn't quite manage it, and Scotland competitive, and they've turned this over.
You must release. Not releasing. This is the mark. Okay, I couldn't see it. 10 meters. Push 10 meters. Yeah, no. This is the mark.
Chance for a springboard here for Scotland.
Keep the game.
A good performer. Andy Stirrett wearing 12. His club is the Ayrshire Bulls back in Scotland. Clean take from Williamson. Williamson of Glasgow Warriors, and Scotland very, very close.
No, not quick. No.
Well, they worked this really nicely, Scotland. That's gone to the back. Really nicely thrown and picked up by Benji Williams, the big Welsh number 8. And Lloyd is shaping to box kick. And, gets a pretty decent boot to ball as well. That's a fine clearance from Lloyd, who's been absolutely outstanding since replacing poor old Che Hope in the opening 5-10 minutes or so.
This is the mark.
Yeah, he'll be pleased with his performance. Done as well without their main talisman, Wales, Alex Mann, who is missing the entire series. He's injured. That's incidentally why Joe Hawkins of the Ospreys is captaining the side in his place.
Is the mark. Good.
Really unfortunate for the scrum half Che Hope, who was the only uncapped player in the starting 15 today for Wales, and he had to go off really early because of injury. That's Morgan Lloyd taking his place. And now another water break. And, you can understand why. Well, Scotland's been given instructions by Kenny Murray. But it's been all Wales, really. Here's another look at try number 5, floated over the top from Edwards, and a simple finish from Ollie Andrew. They do have more caps and more experience to their starting 15 today, Wales, than the Scots do. Scotland have got 3 uncapped players starting today. And I think that experience is telling. Despite this being under 20s age grade rugby, a lot of these Welsh players played in the Six Nations earlier this year. And Ollie Andrew has had a fine afternoon in the scorching Treviso sunshine. 2 tries to his name. Has to be a shoulder issue for talisman in the pack. Left shoulder heavily strapped. A save for Chris Schunzer of Exeter. He's a giant of a specimen.
Yes, that's great. Wait for the signal.
Scrum's been fairly solid for both sets of players. Through the hands go Wales, and that's a little grubber forward. This might work out nicely. Oh, the bounce just evading the left winger, Harry Houston. But gorgeous rugby again from Wales. It's a lovely little chip through. Wales were unlucky there. Wearing 19 for Wales, Mackenzie Martin. One off the conveyor belt. Mackenzie Martin of Cardiff. Cardiff very well represented within the Welsh 23 today. 26, sorry. 26 man matchday squads. Now Scotland with an opportunity to ship it wide. And Ollie Burrows of Exeter has come on for Wales. I'm actually surprised he didn't start. was Effin Daniel who took his place in the starting 15 today, but Ollie Burrows is a mean operator at hooker, and he's going to get the last 30 minutes or so. It's taken a nick off the Scottish hands. Raft of changes now made by both coaches. Fresh legs in the sunshine. It's a big tackle from Mackenzie Martin. Slowing the ball down at ruck time. It's a lovely delayed pass, but wasn't quite taken into his stride. And opportunity goes begging. It was Andy Stirrett who tried to gather it.
11, 12 and 7.
It was the right idea. It was actually a good line that Stirrett made.
11, 12 and 7.
Just might have been expecting the ball slightly sooner, and more Scottish replacements. It's Gabe Jones and Ben Salmon coming on. And the captain's going to get a break. Rhys Tate has done his work for the afternoon. 52 minutes gone. The captain is replaced.
Who will be the captain?
Ben Afshar as well is also on. Replacement scrum half.
Yeah. Oh no. Hey, sorry. 13. You will be the captain. Time on. One, two, scrum red. The mark. Good. Scrum was good. Thanks, boys. Keep that.
Scotland 5, Wales 31. Morgan Lloyd with the put-in. That scrum is wheeled quite significantly, and yeah, Wales are penalised here, and Scotland have done a job on them. And Wales have lost their own scrum. And that's a win for the Scottish replacement forwards. It is an entirely new front row, and they've done their job there.
Yeah, you have time off.
Wins have been few and far between today for the Scots.
7 red.
Virtually an entire new pack now as well. Tim Brown is also on to add some meat and gristle to the Type 5.
Time on. Wheeling.
Scotland looking for territory. Haven't had much of it in this match. And a new kicker as well, Ewan Cunningham. He's on for the Scots. Fairly successful from both sides. Ewan Cunningham is one of the bright sparks of under 20 Scottish rugby. Plays for Glasgow Warriors. So Ewan Cunningham wearing 22 for Scotland is certainly one to watch. The new fly half.
Ruck, end in ruck. Yeah, 16.
Scotland
This is your mark. Yours.
profiting there from some sloppy Welsh breakdown play. It was the Welsh replacement hooker who conceded the penalty. And another clean line-out take from Scotland. This is the new hooker who's bursting towards the try line, but he's lost the ball in the contact. And Wales have regathered. You can see what an athlete he is, though. Patrick Harrison, the new hooker for Scotland.
Stay on side. Use it.
And Scotland have won the penalty again, and they have improved significantly since these raft of changes that Kenny Murray has made. And they've been ultra competitive in that tight 5 area. New front row of Patrick Harrison and Ian Carmichael and Gregor Skugel have really made an impact.
We don't have the ball, lads. We don't have the ball.
Shot that it's Thomas 6 PK against Wales since the half-time.
Scotland looking for a second try again. Nice throw from Harrison, well taken. Scotland, this looks pretty well set, but Wales are trying to disrupt it. It has splintered away, and Mackenzie Martin trying to dig for the turnover, but Scotland, well, they're just about on the try line, and it's been given. And that's a nice moment for Scotland. They've been searching and searching throughout this second half, and they finally got their rewards and the pats on the back. For the front rowers, that was a try made by the forwards. Confirm who's actually got it down. It's definitely down, no doubt about that. We'll confirm the try scorer shortly. Referee was happy. Morgan Morse, incidentally, has come on for Ethan Fackrell in the Welsh back row. Cunningham, first strike of the ball, hooks it wide, but Scotland at least onto double digits now. Scotland 10, Wales 31.
Okay, should there no clear picture to go against you?
The try has been confirmed. It is Patrick Harrison has been credited with it. Here's the bulldozing hooker Harrison, who has been given the score. He was a lot of bodies in the way. So it's the man wearing 16 who has made quite an impact since coming on, I have to say. He's been fabulous.
Stay on side, Red. Stay on side. Use that side.
And Scotland, well, they've given themselves a platform. They're winning penalties all of a sudden. I make it they've won the last 5 penalties in this match. And is there a momentum shift? The substitutes have certainly done the job. A little bit clumsy in the air.
There was a kick, right? Too many. Very worried. Last one. Yeah, time off. You have certain.
Can win it penalised here.
Good.
The Welsh fullback. One of the stars of the Welsh team.
Good rock.
Can win it. Began last season at under 18 level. He's now in the under 20s after 4 Six Nations starts. Scored on his senior European debut for Cardiff at Harlequins in December. Can win it. Of Cardiff. Playing fullback today for Wales.
And 10. No, wait, time is off, lads. Time is off. Wait. Open up the gap. Good. Time on.
Clean take again from Scotland. Approaching the hour mark in Treviso. Scotland 10, Wales 31. Ship backwards. That's a lovely flat pass, and it was flung rather hopefully towards the right-hand touchline, where it wasn't held. But, Scotland looking much more dangerous at the moment, though. Kerr Johnston unable to get his mitts on it, but Johnston certainly put in some impressive performances at younger age group rugby this season, hence his call up to the under-20s.
Don't close the gap, Blue.
It's a clean take. Ollie Burrows, the new Welsh hooker.
Red, stop. No, you stop.
That's Kieran Clark with that hefty boot downfield. That's into space. Is that going to stay in or go over the dead ball line? Escapes the clutches of one Welsh defender. It's straight into Welsh hands though, and Wales can counter-attack here, and this is beautiful through about 3 or 4 Scottish defenders. And Scotland pinged as they try and go over the ball, but Wales have taken it quickly. They had an overlap there, Wales. Couldn't quite make it count. It's a big carry from the new hooker Burrows, and they're lining up here. This is Shionza. He's buffeted backwards and then coming onto the ball, and try number 6. And it's performance of the day from Morgan Lloyd, and he's a try scorer at under-20s level. He has been absolutely fabulous, Morgan Lloyd, since he came on in the opening 5 minutes for Che Hope. But his performance merits a try, and he spotted the gap and threaded the needle. And Morgan Lloyd has Wales motoring into the mid-30s.
Stop. I don't hear. Yeah.
Looking at something in that breakdown, but
Oh, baby.
it's all fine, I believe.
1 minute water break, lad.
Conversion is good. Try has been given.
No, I don't.
They were looking at it.
It's not working.
You don't listen anyone.
Who?
We can listen you.
But I can't hear. No.
It's a water break. The try was good. Morgan Lloyd has scored it. And the little scrum half live wire. It's a beautiful dummy from Lloyd, and spotted the gap. He was far too quick for the covering Scottish defence.
No, we just check all the angle, and it's a clear grounding, no problem.
It was the grounding they were actually looking at, but it looked absolutely fine to me.
The ground was good.
Yeah. Okay. That's why I cannot hear you at all.
It's been fabulous stuff, this from Wales. Scotland have been second best, but it is a more inexperienced Scottish side. Certainly do need to take these breaks in these temperatures. It seems to be getting warmer. Referee just waiting for the all clear. Josh Phillips is the new Welsh fly half. Daniel Edwards has got a break. It was Phillips who slotted over that conversion. It was a 7-point Welsh score. 6 tries, 3 of them converted. Or 4 of them rather converted. And this is the hold-up. It's a change of technology.
No.
The earpiece not working.
You hear me? Yeah, say something. Good. That's it? Yes. Thank you. That's good now. That's good now.
Shota, it's Thomas, okay for you?
Everybody hears me? Perfect.
Just testing things out. All good.
Time on.
Kickoff is taken well. Mason Grady has been absolutely outstanding. It was another clean take in the air. These Welsh players, I think, are well capable of going on to make debuts for the senior side. Christians already has. Scotland in broken field play. What can they do? Oh, it's a beautiful break and lovely pass out to the wing as well. Scotland, this would be fabulous if they could finish this. We were looking for the offload, it didn't quite happen. Wonderful break though. One of the best attacks we've seen from Scotland. They still have the ball. Gabe Jones, take a bow after that line break. That's a lovely floated pass. Out to Patrick Harrison, scorer of the second try. Harrison still going. Very powerful stuff from the hooker. Support comes in from Josh Taylor. And that's fallen loose. And, well, this is definitely going to be checked.
Time off. Time off. No. I couldn't see properly.
No doubt about it that this is going to be checked.
No call. Thomas, you hear me?
Yeah.
So, on field decision, right? We are happy with the grounding. We just want to check the player who took the ball was onside or not.
It definitely wasn't knocked on. Knock-on
Okay,
isn't
this
an
is
issue.
a try, and we check a potential
Grounding looked to be okay.
offside in the last ruck.
Yes, please.
That's the only question. Looked to be okay to me. I think Scotland have scored a third try here. Is there an offside? It's a tight one. It's a very tight one. It's Josh Taylor who goes in here. Josh Taylor's the man who has grounded the ball. Was he offside?
Shota.
Yeah.
I will show you a knock-on from blue players. We'll see the
Spotted a
full
knock-on as well.
blue.
Josh Taylor, I think, has knocked this on in the when he picks the ball up here.
And the ball would touch the
And
red
it went off
player.
red. That's a knock-on.
Okay.
This is going to be
So
ruled
he's
out.
onside. He's not offside, but he lost control on the ball. Ball went forward and touched the red player.
It would have clearly been a
Obviously
knock-on had it
knock-on,
not
scrum.
hit a Welsh player.
Yeah, agree for me.
Yeah, they haven't scored 3. Scotland remain on 2.
Thank you, Tom. Knock on.
And this is going to be a Welsh scrum.
Time on. Knock on. Blue. Brown, red. Sorry. Is the mark a bit back, please? Yeah, that's great. Yeah. Good.
That was a lovely break. Gabe Jones down the left-hand touch line. Wonderful line break and into the path of Ben Salmon as well, who was on the wing. But, trying to check back inside, and Scotland ending up disappointed rather. They didn't nab try number 3, but it was the correct decision. Josh Taylor, not only did I think he was slightly offside, but he did knock it on. That's a quickly taken line out, and that was almost intercepted. Wales extremely unlucky there. And that would have been a clear run-in. Now then, that was surely a penalty. Surely.
Yeah, I confirm just PK. Good.
Getting a little bit fragmented at the moment. Quarter of an hour to go. Scotland 10, Wales 38.
So you have 2 penalties here and there if you want.
Take your pick in terms of penalties. Wales are giving away plenty
No,
at the
it's not
moment.
just obstruction. It's full play. Celebrate.
Ewan Cunningham. Another chance to show off his kicking skills.
Hey lad, who is the captain?
And a decent touch finder
21.
from Cunningham. One of a handful of players in the Scotland 26 who ply their trade for Glasgow Warriors. Christian Townsend, Max Williamson and Rhys Tate, also of the Warriors.
Push back. Yeah, I'll go.
Cunningham playing scrum half this time. Into midfield.
Stay outside.
Wales told to stay on side. Scotland's counter-rucking their way forward. Oh, and that's a poor knock-on. Just about sums up Scotland's day. And it's been all about Wales. Wales have been much cooler under pressure. And they're on the verge of chalking up a very, very big victory.
It's the mark, lads. Wait for the signal. Yeah, gap is good.
The Scotland captain, Rhys Tate, wanted to see some physicality from the Scots, but most of the time they've been out-muscled in this game. It's been a very, very physical Welsh performance.
Thank you.
Scotland, during the Six Nations defeat to Wales, definitely weren't clinical enough. They had their opportunities in that 26-13 defeat. Here come Wales, and much more direct route this time. Utilising their ball carriers, but Scotland have managed to turn this. Some very, very nimble forwards, Scotland, that have come off the replacements bench, and it was a speculative offload. That's a good pass by Salmon, and here's Gabe Jones. Gabe Jones, who made that break earlier on, about 5 minutes or so ago. But Wales take themselves downfield. That's a wonderful kick. Look how deep that is. A little goose step, Marcus Smith-esque here, and upended. It was Kerr Johnston who attempted to run from deep, and in the end Scotland have been made to pay they've been turned over once again at the breakdown. Kerr Johnston impressing Kenny Murray with his performances at under 18s and under 19s level.
Time is off.
But being turned over there, well, perhaps it wasn't the right decision to run from
1
deep.
minute water break as well. Yeah.
Superb technique over the ball once again from Wales. Wonderful from Houston this time, the left winger. Terrific strength and body position.
Oh, okay.
Another water break.
We'll look at it.
Entering the final 12 minutes or so.
Shot out, it's Thomas.
And, Max Williamson has gone off for Scotland. He's played almost 70 minutes. And
we will have a TMO review on
Rudy
the
Brown has come
previous
on.
situation before you give the PK. You have the 13 blue who have a concussion, maybe can be due to a full play, so we will need to have a review on that.
Duncan Munn, just hearing from the TMO, is concussed here.
Yeah.
So they're going to check whether it was the result of foul play.
So what are we looking at?
So I will show you an offside from a red player and go direct in contact with blue players and create an injury.
Okay, I'm at the place.
Something for the officials to keep themselves busy with here. Shutter Tev Zadza has gone over to look at the big screen inside the Stadio di Monigo. Yeah, that was the incident there.
I think this is the best angle.
Just there. Yeah, Duncan Munn has taken a clattering.
You don't have any footage?
It's another footage, but it's not clear to me. Can we see it a bit slowly?
It's the
Yeah, this footage is better, I think. Can we see it
centre
one more
Mason
time?
Grady. I think it's 13 on 13 here. I think that's pretty innocuous, personally. I think that's just a coming together where Grady was trying to support
I will
his...
show you the camera from the stand.
trying to be the support
With a
runner,
wide
rather.
angle. Yeah, this is angle.
I'm not sure there's a lot in that.
So what I see on screen now, that player, red player, is not offside, he's not in position to take the ball. I can't see the clear contact with the head here. So it's just a rugby.
It's Mason Grady. I don't think there's foul play involved in there. In that.
You then want to see another angle at the point of contact? At the moment of contact? No?
It's Mason Grady on Duncan Munn. Munn is
No,
definitely
it's the same
concussed.
angle, but I want to,
But I think
to be sure
Mason
he's not
Grady
in front of the player during the contact.
is trying to support Bryn Bradley's run here. And he's taken his eye off where he was running into. But there's certainly nothing malicious in that.
No,
Might be offside, but
Okay, it's your decision, yes.
Thank you.
I don't think there's foul play involved in that at all.
Yeah, was the ground. Yeah, no, nothing. No. There was a penalty.
Yeah, nothing in that. I find it really bizarre how it took so long to come to a decision.
Time on. Not to lose it.
A little bit baffling, really, from the officials. But either way, Wales were coming back for the penalty, which was won at the breakdown by Harry Houston, with that wonderful turnover. And this is a very, very dangerous position for Wales. Scotland going to have to try and defend this. No side conceded fewer turnovers in this year's Six Nations than Scotland, but they have been battered at the breakdown today. No side, additionally, one fewer turnovers in the championship than Wales. So it's been almost a role reversal. Here come Wales again, looking for try number 7, and they have it. Well, if the backs don't get you, the forwards certainly will. It's another big bullocking run. Fabulous score. Clinical again from Wales.
All good.
It's a fabulous try. Very, very clean line out take. And it's just not defended properly either. Morgan Morse is the player who has scored it. He's not long been on the field, actually, Morse.
Big shift. What fucking hard here? Brilliant.
Conversion attempt. Looks a really, really good one from Josh Phillips. He has kicked beautifully since replacing Daniel Edwards, who was a fine performer as well. And Wales now into the mid-40s. Scotland 10, Wales 45.
18 red substitution.
It was Burrows with the clean line outs, and Morgan Morse is the player who has gone over for the try, wearing 20 for Wales. Oh, it's a heavy collision. Can confirm that the score caption that came up indicating that Ollie Burrows had scored that try is wrong. It was Morgan Morse. So Ollie Burrows wears 16. He's the replacement hooker. So Morgan Morse is not going to have that try taken away from him. It definitely was Morgan Morse, the replacement back row. Here goes Gabe Jones again. Jones has made an impact since coming on. Yeah, that's been knocked on. I thought there was a hint of a high tackle there, incidentally. Morgan Morse, the latest try scorer for Wales, is another one of the Ospreys contingent in the 26 player squad today. Superb kick again, but perhaps a little bit too much on this one. This one's going to go dead, is it? It's going to be picked up and played. But Wales have certainly won the breakdown. They've won the kicking battle, and they have been ultra clinical. Ollie Andrew has helped himself to a couple of scores. It's just been a brutally efficient performance from Byron Hayward's men. Mason Grady and Joe Hawkins outstanding in the centres. The two wingers have looked really dangerous, Houston and Andrew. Dan Edwards orchestrated things beautifully when he was in the number 10 jersey. And Duncan Murnock can confirm has gone off for his after that head collision. It's a breakdown penalty for Scotland, which has been a rarity in this match. It's largely a pretty even distribution of Welsh talents throughout the regions in this squad, with the exception really of the Scarlets. The Scarlets didn't have any starters today, just a couple of replacements. Josh Phillips, the fly half replacement, is of the Scarlets, but the bulk of the squad comes from either Cardiff or the Ospreys. Ospreys with 7 members in the 26. And Cardiff with exactly the same. 6 minutes to go. The most Scotland can hope for now is a try bonus point, and they've still got work to do if they're going to achieve that.
Back on red. Brown, blue. Is the mark left? Yes, yes. Keep that discipline, okay? Yeah. Keep it up. Oh, it's good. Just keep it.
A couple of good cameos from the Welsh replacements as well. The likes of Ollie Burrows and Morse and Mackenzie Martin have all made an impact. I think Byron Hayward's going to be pretty happy by what he's seen. Kicked beautifully as well. Certainly Dan Edwards and Josh Phillips working with Lee Halfpenny earlier in the year. Looks to have paid off. And the fitness has been hugely impressive as well. It's going to take a good side to beat Wales. Certainly in Pool B. Scotland going through the hands and looking for any scraps they can take at the moment, but it's just not working out for them. Beautiful Welsh hands, but then a bit of a hashed boot from Harry Houston, who's had a fine game. Won himself a couple of turnovers, got himself on the scoreboard.
Yep, it was okay, very good.
And 4.5 minutes remaining in Treviso.
Up 10 points. Up 10. From the line now. From, all right. Yeah. From was good. Just keep that. Last. It's the mark. From was very good. Last. Keep that.
Well, unfortunately for Scotland, it is going to be an 11th straight defeat. And once again, their defence has been extremely leaky. The last victory was against Wales, but that's not going to be the case today. Wales had lost 4 of the last 5 matches, obviously, due to the Six Nations. But look at that Scottish scrum, and something to cheer for the Scottish forwards, who, in fairness, since the raft of forward replacements have come on, Scotland have improved up front.
It's the mark.
The hooker, the replacement hooker, Patrick Harrison, has been absolutely outstanding, not only in the set piece but in the loose as well. Patrick Harrison has made more metres, with the exception of Ollie Leatherbarrow, than any other Scottish player.
12 blue substitution. 12. Six left.
As for Wales, Harry Houston is their top meter maker.
Time back on.
Ollie Andrew pretty close. Mason Grady has certainly put in some groundwork today as well. He's been outstanding, the big outside centre. Patrick Harrison with another clean throw of the ball. And here he is with the ball at the base of this driving maul, and Harrison may well score here, and Harrison gets it down, and Scotland have 3. Well, rich rewards for Patrick Harrison, who has been monumental since coming on, and look at the smile for the young hooker. That's now 2 tries for Patrick Harrison. And surely he's going to be starting the next game. Rumbling towards the line, and a simple dot down for Harrison, who not only now is Scotland's second top meter maker, he's also got himself 2 tries. And in fact, all of the Scottish tries have been scored by hookers. Gregor Hiddleston landed the first in the first half.
All good for me.
And Patrick Harrison has helped himself to a couple in the second. But Scotland still shy of try bonus point territory. They need another if they're to get something from this match. Cunningham, again, just hooks it wide. So Cunningham unable to get on the scoreboard himself.
1 minute.
The Glasgow Warriors fly half, and Scotland trail by 30. Scotland 15, Wales 45.
Wait for the kick. Wait for the kick.
And we are into the final minute. It's the sun-drenched Stadio di Monigo, home of Benetton.
Let them out.
Italy versus Georgia to come a little bit later on.
Keep the game blue.
But Wales have put on a show. 7 try showing from Byron Hayward's men. And they'll be favourites now to go on and top Pool B. They might even get more. They're looking for 50 points. But that's gone loose. And Scotland, if they can run it from deep and keep hold of this, they may well still get that try bonus point. And here's Gabe Jones, who's been electric since coming on. But that's fallen into Welsh hands. That's Benji Williams, who's played the full 80 for Wales, wearing number 8. Patrick Harrison with a good line speed. That's been knocked forward, and that will be that. And it's a Welsh victory by 30 points, and Scotland's losing streak continues. They've been beaten by Wales pretty handsomely today. Another defeat they have suffered against the Welsh. And 7 tries Wales have notched this afternoon in the Italian sunshine, and a wonderful attacking performance, ultra clinical when they've got the ball in the red zone. Scotland will have to go away and lick their wounds. Games with Italy and Georgia still to come. It is not quite a lost cause just yet for the Scots, but Kenny Murray will want them to improve significantly. A good run out for some of the Scottish youngsters making their debuts today, but ultimately they have been put to the sword by a very, very impressive Welsh side. And some top performers in that Welsh back line: Ollie Andrew, Mason Grady, Harry Houston, Dan Edwards, all terrific today. And an honourable mention for the replacement Scottish hooker, Patrick Harrison. But Scotland well beaten in Treviso. It's Wales who have the full complement of 5 points. Full time at the Stadio di Monigo. Scotland 15, Wales 45.
You were right then, or nothing? No injury?
I just come back from injury.
All right. Thank you very much. Bye.